We're pretty close to settlement.
Y tres, crear todos los elementos de tu negocio de forma
We don't really have any overnight inventory.
Este no es otro webinar teórico.
Settlement
Es
just
el
below
primer paso real para
settlement
que
price
puedas dominar la
62.71.
inteligencia artificial, crear un negocio real
below that.
y ganar dinero. Si empresas de todos los sectores y tamaños están utilizando la inteligencia artificial para incrementar su valor, ¿cuál es tu excusa para no estar haciendo
You got a
exactamente?
fader in the chat. Leo says,
Entra ya a la masterclass gratuita que estará
he didn't
disponible
say house
durante
count is
muy
long,
poco tiempo.
but we
Nos
went
vemos
short
dentro.
crude as we went long crude.
5 minutes.
Well,
5 minutes. What are you
Sesión
seeing
de
in crude
bajista
here,
en
Leo?
45 segundos. Saca tu teléfono, abre ChatGPT y dile
What are
exactamente.
you seeing in
¿Quién es
crude?
mi asistente
We have
personal
seen a
experto?
ton of rejection up
Quiero
at the $63 level.
Yep.
So maybe. Whatever you do, limit risk. We're limiting risk. May the best trader win. And by best, I mean us, Leo. Just joking.
Practicing. Practicing.
All right.
All right.
Practicing, got you.
Good man.
All right, let's get to the equities. JD, we got some news on short sellers. What's
Yes.
Michael Burry doing out here? Big short.
Big money this week being made fading AI stocks. We've seen a couple days of drawdown in the equities, particularly AI-driven stocks.
All right.
And this data comes from S3 Partners. I found this on article on Yahoo Finance. Just so you guys know, I try and look for articles
Big short.
that are not guaranteed, so anybody can access them and look for the astronomical I try and find content. It's not the NKL does, everybody subscribes to all the services that we look at. So, when I come in with news, it's stuff that everybody has access to. So, data from S3 Partners come out saying short sellers who bet on a company's stock price going down have made out handsomely on wagers against a basket of AI-linked companies, reaping in over $5.6 billion out of positions in the last two trading sessions. Again, there's data coming from S3 Partners. Big money in the last 2 days, $5.6 billion shorting AI stocks. In comments published Friday by The Verge, OpenAI chief executive Sam Altman said that while AI is the most important thing to happen in a very long time, the technology could be in a bubble, similar to the turn of the century.com boom that knocked out more than 80% of the Nasdaq's value when it popped in the early 2000s. We all know what happened to the Nasdaq. Oh, how many years did it take the Nasdaq to recover from the bubble? 20 years it took the Nasdaq.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Bubble.
Yeah. And some of my friends, I don't think ever recovered from the bubble.
Yep.
They were so used to being long, they never learned how to be short.
Yeah, that's the thing. I suppose some traders out there are falling victim to that right now also, or they have recently. But $5.6 billion in profits total on a basket of AI-linked stocks in the last 2 days. That's impressive.
What do? Buy a boat?
What do you do? I wouldn't do anything right away.
Well,
I'd probably work for 2 more years and not tell anybody I made any money, and then slowly just fade away. Does that make sense?
Whatever happened to JD? Remember that guy?
remember that guy?
Remember that guy?
Wow. I'm looking at a QQQ chart right now, JD, and yeah, from the March 2000 high, we didn't clear that high in the Qs until January 2017.
Yep.
Wow.
Bubbles are real.
Interesting. Bubbles are real. Bubbles are real. All right, Hogue, let's go over this NASDAQ chart. What are we seeing in the NASDAQ?
All right. Well, that excess high on the 13th sure is ringing true now, isn't it? So what did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles in a row. We had to go back to February to find 5. I didn't go back looking for 6. Kind of rare. Where did the market go to? Well, once it gave up the weekly kickoff low, which was supportive for the S&Ps yesterday, right to the 20-session moving average. Jay's fave, right there. We lost open interest. We've been losing open interest for the last couple of sessions. Is that encouraging for continuation to the downside? No. Losing open interest on down days takes some selling power away from the market. Doesn't mean that there's not more to sell. Of course, there's always more, but it doesn't encourage continuation. We've seen increases in the S&Ps, but not so much in the NASDAQ. So the auction to the downside, while it is bringing in volume, that's good, is losing open interest. Double check this. Doesn't seem right. So open interest since about the 1st of August is up one day, down the next one, up then up down, up down, up down. It's like it's waffling the entire time we're in this. Losing open interest over the last couple of sessions. We're looking at about 12,000 contracts and losses from the day before yesterday and today. In an auction market, when open interest begins to fall, that auction might be coming closer to an end. Not suggesting that it is. There's a lot more things that can go on. There's a lot more. There can be a change. If we start bringing in new selling, then this auction will probably gain some steam to the downside. Of course, it kind of goes without saying. But mostly for the last couple of days, we've been looking more at long liquidation than new shorts coming into the marketplace. Where are we in the short time frame? We're going to take a look at this here in just a second. Jay, what do you think of your 20-session simple moving average now?
Hogue, we looked like we were going to hold it as a support. We closed below it. Now we're not even testing it, and now that 50 is our new support. The NASDAQ looks very weak.
It's the 50. My bad. I was calling that 20. It's the 50. Sorry about that.
Oh, all good. Yeah, the 50 is down at 23.47. We were talking on the opening call yesterday that if we start to see price acceptance inside of that monthly open candle, that was the target. If you see where we bounce, Hogue, that August 1st candle, we bounced pretty much right at 50% of that candle, and that 50 moving average are kind of in that same zone. It looks like another target for the downside today if we continue to see some selling here. The last time we had 6 down days or 7 down days, if we go to February of this year, we had 7 down days, started with those 3 daily dojis, and we all know what happened after that.
It was
a little bit of a bounce, and yeah, if you count those dojis, some of them are very iffy. But again, is it the same? No. Does it kind of look like it? Are they distant cousins? Maybe. This market looks heavy for right now. Again, where are those buyers coming in? The decrease in the open interest as we're selling maybe means that we don't have as much short pressure coming into the NASDAQ here, but where are the buyers, Hogue? We found some at that 50 moving average yesterday, but are they just covering shorts? The high of that daily candle, the monthly open daily candle is 23.347. We see that pretty much the high of the session so far today. If we can't find any buyers above that, on a higher time frame, this is still in a downtrend for now. So, it looks heavy, Hogue. It looks heavy. Where's your weekly kickoff low, Hogue, in the NASDAQ?
23,420. Pretty much the opening range yesterday. So there's 420. Opening range dead ass high. So it was supportive the day before. We opened right on it yesterday, and the sellers just came after this thing. Yeah,
they did. We talked about that monthly view up in the S&P, Hogue. In the NASDAQ, it's up at 23,510, so we're well under it right now. So any longs that are in that view up are underwater right now. At what point do they sell and say, hey, you know what, maybe I don't hold on to these positions for the month? We'll see. Right now, this month is still green, but we are testing into that candle again. 23.50s would be that target to the downside again. We'll see what happens. See what happens there.
Okay, this is the 30-minute. There's the break yesterday. Found some buyers, and that is right on that opening daily bar there. That 50% right there. pretty much put in the IB low right just above that. That's where we found some buyers coming in yesterday. Still kind of holding inside of that bar now, holding below the weekly kickoff low. I think that this market is obviously it's very weak. It's weaker than the S&Ps. When we look at the S&Ps, the weekly kickoff low is technically in a very similar place in the S&Ps, and we found support there yesterday. We have given up, and we've found a lot of sellers down here below that weekly kickoff low on the NASDAQ. So looking at the 30-minute chart, where did we see those initiative buyers in the S&Ps? Well, those were a lot higher in the S&Ps. Where did we see anything like that here? We saw initiative buyers pull back, initiative buyers. So all those buyers are now underwater. And like you were saying with the VWAP, the monthly VWAP, any buyers above that are also underwater. There's a lot of pressure in this market. Obviously the tech sector has been the major part of it. I don't see that there's any real recovery coming unless something happens or those knuckleheads in Jackson Hole say something good. I don't think we can trust rallies in this yet. I don't think we can trust rallies. That's I think probably the best way to put it. Jay, what do you think?
I would agree with you, Oak. I would agree. Are there opportunities to buy? There are, but I think it's when we find the last seller, like we did yesterday, right? It's not just a blind buy. We had all that sell pressure to the downside. At some point, it's going to hit a demand level where those sellers are going to take profits. I think those are the buy opportunities. We saw it yesterday with Dakota and Doom trading during fast markets. I think it's the same deal today. Right? The markets aren't just going to. Well, I shouldn't say aren't. They can do whatever they want. We've seen some, heavy selling. At some point it stops, right? Just how at some point the upside stops, but I wouldn't want to be the first one to kind of try to jump in front of it. If we start to see reversal patterns, then great. But, right. We have the NASDAQ, it'd be opening up with about a 0.4%, move to the downside right now. The Russell looks heavy. The Nikkei's heavy. The Dow might be the only one that's kind of holding up. Are there trades on both sides? Yes, and I think that's kind of what traders welcome, where there are opportunities to buy or sell these markets, but trade location, timing really do matter in times like this.
Awesome, Jay. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we're getting through the charts here. We're done with that. What are we looking for as far as the schedule for today?
What do we got on the schedule, JD?
Yeah, let's get into that. Well, coming up next on Fast Markets, we've got a London takeover. We've got Aaron Luce, star of the London Open, and Coach Deanna, host of Euro Trade. Both those are overnight sessions. London Open starts at 1:30 a.m. Central Time. The Euro Trade starts at 3:30 a.m. Central Time. But Aaron Luce and Deanna are both here. They're going to be joined by Coach Jay, Jack, and Hogue himself. After that, we got the morning recap at 11 o'clock Central Time. 11:15, Trade with Top Step. Coach Jay and me will be joined by John London once again. Repeat of Tuesday. Lunchbox Trading, we've got Coach Vince with one of his VIP traders, Saul F. I'll be talking to those guys for about an hour over Lunchbox Trading. We've got a Top Step X API tutorial coming at you at the 1 o'clock hour. Hogan, Andy A. will be talking Top Step X API. And then we're closing out the day in Power Hour. We've got Anne-Marie, Dolby Time, and a third, soon-to-be-mentioned guest. So let's try Power Hour.
All right. Don't forget, folks,
Awesome stuff.
do your trading checklist. You don't have to use ours. You can make your own. It can be a living, changing document over time. But we just did our research, looking for trends, looking for opportunities, volume open interest, taking a look at our reference levels, points of invalidation, inflection levels, if you will. Got our pre-market done, so we're done with the morning routine. Pre-market research done, plan done, strategy, journal, done. Prep the workstation. First entry. Well, was it a very confident trade, or was it one of your secondary or even worse trades? What about profit target, stop price, risk reward ratio? Always be journaling each and every one of these trades. And at the end of the day, don't forget to review those trades. Don't forget to review and update your journal. Get plenty of rest. A couple of psychological resources to remind you: do not overtrade. Do not trade out of FOMO. Do not trade impulsively, and don't trade angry. I'm going to remind you every day, you don't get to play until you've done your homework. Homework done. Now we get to play.
Do your homework. Do your homework, traders. I know the 2 traders that we have coming on for fast markets definitely do their homework. We'll be talking to them a lot about that coming up here. Are we still in any trades in the house account by any chance, JD?
We are not. We got tagged out on that crude trade.
Who faded us? It
Thought
was
our
Leo.
risk was
Leo,
a
you see what
little-
you did, Leo?
Yeah. See what you did, Leo? I thought our risk was wide enough. We only took $125 worth of risk on that trade. Put our stop below settlement price, and that's where it stopped.
Well, you can't win them all.
That opening
How
5-minute
about
candle
breaking
looked like a
above?
nice. That opening 5-minute candle looked like a nice reversal play. The long looked strong right there. It's still the highest volume 5-minute candle on the board so far this morning. I think we
We're
got
still about
Predator
breaking the
Algo
month
out of
on
that
those-
trade.
On those trades, right, JD?
We're down about
About
$400 on the month.
Oh,
Month of August, we're down about 400 on opening range breakouts.
well, that's basically break even, if you will.
Yeah, I'd call that close enough to a scratch. Not getting killed, not getting rich off it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're evolving. We're learning.
Yeah. All right.
We got one more
We are
piece of
learning.
news, guys.
And late.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Let's
One
run
more
that,
video
JD.
clip. The search for a new leader of the Fed Reserve is on. Look at this. Wednesday. Former St. Louis Fed President James Bullard said he's in talks with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent about taking over when Jerome Powell's term ends next May. Let's roll that beautiful Fed footage if we got it back there. So James Bullard expects to meet with Bessent after Labor Day. Labor Day will be the first Monday in September. Bullard said he'd only take the job if the central bank remains free from political interference. President Donald Trump, however, has threatened the Fed's independence on numerous occasions. He's pushed for lower rates and even floated the idea that Fed officials should clear interest rate decisions with him. That's not how it works, right? Bullard said he thinks rates are somewhat too high based on economic conditions and that they could be lowered by a full point over the next year. So Bullard in the hunt for that new Fed chair position. We'll see what's going on. I know there's a couple people in the hunt, so this could get spicy.
We need new knuckleheads.
Or numbskulls, as they're called.
Numbskulls. Numbskulls. All right. Thanks, JD. So Tuesday was potato day. Yesterday was bacon today, and today's Bullard day.
You got it.
Doesn't
You
sound
got
as
it.
exciting
I didn't,
as potatoes and bacon.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I looked real hard for National Something Day today, but I couldn't find it. I'll try
Well, it
harder
is
tomorrow.
National London Day today. JD, Jay, always
is,
a pleasure
yes.
being with you guys. We're going to be heading into fast markets coming up pretty soon here. We're just going to looking at the top of the chat today. I always like to talk to say good morning to my early birds. Shubham, always here. Dan Trader, Command 86-2. Good to have you back, my friend. Rob T. G-Bo, Gorillionaire, John Jones, Ali, Yabbersmack, and Alexander were the top of the chat today, folks. Don't forget to remain humble in your trading. Every time I've started thinking that I'm God's gift to trading, there's been danger at the door. Be grateful for the opportunities we have here. Stay creative. Take that information as it's been being provided to you by the markets, market-generated information. Stay centered. Don't get too angry. Don't get too happy. Just try and be calm, cool, collected in trading today. Make sure you pray for peace. And we are just about ready for fast markets in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go get them.
Turn the machine back on! Turn the machine back on! Turn the machine back on! Turn the machine back on!
Good morning, everybody. There's the horn. This is Top Step TV. Get that natural light out of the Cracker Barrel, apparently. More on that later. Jay, you're hosting today. How's the hot seat?
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. Andre does a great job hosting the show, but I think he's out being a celebrity somewhere, filming some content or something like that. So I am in the hot seat. Welcome to Fast Markets, the London Takeover. We got D and Aaron Luce, the host of our London Open and Euro Trade. D, Aaron, how are we doing this morning? We throw it to you first, D. How are we doing?
Doing pretty good, Jay. Did a couple of trades, a little bit up on the day, and slept terribly last night. But lots of caffeine, so hopefully it'll be
when these markets open up, that'll be all the caffeine that we need. Aaron, how are you doing this morning? Do you want to talk about your trades that you took? But Aaron, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good to be on. I'm back in Europe, so good to be back on a normal time zone with you guys. Gold having some crazy moves this morning, but I got some nice longs here that we can run over, and ready to dive into. I hope you guys are doing well as well.
Yeah, doing good. We got the markets opening up in about 40 seconds here. We know that both of you trade different markets. Aaron is a gold trader. D, I'm curious to hear what markets you're going to be looking at this morning. Jack, you and I are going to be looking at the equities. But if you guys do jump into any trades, let us know. Call them out. We'll put them up on the board. Let's trade well. Jack, how are you looking at this open coming in the equities?
Well, getting a little bounce right here. Just got to wait for the open, I guess. We kind of lost my 64.20 level. Next dip, 63.70. We'll take a look there, but we're about to open. Let's do it.
We are opening. Aaron, you're looking at gold. D, what markets are you looking at this morning?
Well, I did trade RBOB this morning for the Euro show, and then I traded gold as well. But I am still keeping an eye on copper and natural gas as well. So one of those three, might give us a setup. But obviously it is August. It is a little bit weird. So I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm just going to be patient and mainly, try and preserve the cash that I have rather than clicking buttons. So we'll see. It's still early days, still early days. Natural gas is just going through the second part of the initial balance. Copper is hitting some levels there, but it's been a little bit of a weird market after that big smash down. So I don't know. We'll see. It depends what comes our way. So let's wait and see what they want to do with it.
Good stuff. We got the equities selling off pretty early here. NASDAQ trading 23,200s. S&P is trading 63.85. 50, got a 63% short tilt in the NASDAQ right now. Pretty wide open here so far. 65-point range already in the NASDAQ in the first minute and 15 seconds. In the S&P, that is about 12 points. So some volatility early. We know we got Jackson Hole starting today. Aaron, what's your analysis on gold right now? Hogan and I were talking about it. We were short, we were long. How are you seeing this market?
I was long in our London session this morning. Just pretty much based off how yesterday closed as strong as it did. We were kind of talking about this sort of inverse head and shoulders level in our London session, looking for some longs here. And then you came down for this huge, massive wick here towards the end of the London session. But to be honest, I kind of look at this daily and I go, cool, yesterday, you tagged lows, closed very bullish. For me, coming into the day after seeing yesterday's close, personally, I kind of want to be following that. I'm not really too interested in trying to fight that. But you kind of just opened up here and you've been non-stop pushing. So I got a little piece of the pie, but not as much as I would have liked. But yeah, I like gold to come up into these Asia highs from yesterday. I'm watching these highs up here. If we get a little bit of a pullback, I'd like to keep buying.
Okay. Aaron looking for longs in gold while we see the equity sell off a little bit. So maybe we see a little correlation there. Hogue, Andre usually throws to you here for this 1 minute opening range. What are we seeing in the equities right now for that 1 minute opening range?
Well, we're still in the 1 minute opening range in both of them. You mentioned it is a pretty wide opening range. 68 points in the NASDAQ, almost 12 points in the S&Ps. The sellers came into this pretty aggressive right off the bat here, but we are in range, basically trading near points of control from yesterday. So I'll be looking for better trade locations as the day goes on. Some pretty aggressive selling coming in there, but the buyers came right back in for it. We're still inside that first minute opening range, which is kind of unusual for the equities 3 minutes into this session.
It is, right, Hogue? Especially if we look at the last 2 days, we've just been selling off right away. Jack, any levels that you're looking at? I know you look at the underlying, you look at the SPX and options levels. Any interesting levels that you have that coincide with the futures?
Yeah, for sure. SPX right now we're at 63.77, so kind of no man's land between just below 6,400, which would be 6,420 in the ES. First thing I noticed is the sellers push at the beginning. In the ES, at least, they came within a few points of the low of the session, could not take it out, and now it's rallying. So wait a little bit longer, but that's a strong sign, I think, to start.
I would agree with you there, Jack. Last trade in the NASDAQ, 23,270. Last trade in the S&P, 63.96 half. We got gold at 33.88.80, and crude oil kind of just sitting here, 62.72. Long tilt in gold here, 76% long tilt in gold. So just watch out there. Every time we see that tilt get a little heavy, we do potentially see a pullback in the market. Again, that's not financial advice, just an observation. But still early on in this session. D, I know you said you were looking at a couple of different markets, looking at copper maybe. Coming into the day with a positive P&L, about $119 on your live account. Show us what you're looking at over there on that side, D. We may see some markets that we don't normally see traded during fast markets. I'm curious to see what you're looking at.
Sure. Let's have a look at nat gas. So on the daily chart, natural gas seems like it wants to do a little bit of a reversal, but overall it has been in a really big downtrend, and every time they ran it up for a couple of days, they just smash it back down. So maybe it's time for that pattern to play out yet again. There was a pretty decent rejection from the put support, which is the end of day level from the options chain, which was 275. So yesterday that level sort of acted as a kind of wagging around point. Today we're clearly above it. Currently opening outside of value, and so far not really going back to test that value area either. So plenty of space to the upside. There's a couple of options there depending on how they want to play this. Either maybe some longs from value high, if we can get down to 276, maybe 275.
Uy, no, tía, hoy está muy frío.
Then if we
Hoy
carry
está
on
muy
higher,
frío.
I do have a quantitative extreme
Está muy
closer
frío.
to
Sí, a lo
285.
mejor mañana.
And for
Sí, por
285,
eso
we
es que
also
tiene que
have the
aprovechar el
DX2
día que
level,
yo
which
le
tends
diga,
to be
porque
a
el día que yo
ceiling,
le digo
especially if
es
there's
el día
a
que está
an
haciendo
extended
sol y
move up
está
to
caliente
it.
el agua y todo.
So that is definitely a level of interest for some shorts if the time of day is right. Maybe if we get to Euro
Oh, no,
close
toda
and we
la
start
usé.
to lose some steam in and around there. Now copper, similar situation as gold, less volatile, definitely less volatile. And gold has still some room to go until it reaches some of my quantitative extremes. We're currently... So here's the thing what I'm doing with gold and metals recently.
Sí.
I've been playing around with using
Sí, tía.
LME, London Metal Exchange,
Que usted
open
se pone con
times,
sus...
and
Okay.
TPO
Mañana.
profiles and value areas. And that's actually worked
Mañana.
pretty well for
Pues
platinum,
sí, tía, pero
silver,
usted no va a
copper,
hacer
and
nada, solo
gold.
se va a sentar y
And
yo
I don't
hago
know
todo
whether
el
it's
trabajo,
because
pero
there
usted
was a
no quiere.
period when they shut down the
Ya
range trading,
mañana.
which is equivalent to pit trading, and then LME wasn't running. But now they're back up and running. It's probably one of the last pits in the world, open outcry pits. But it's not open outcry like you guys. It's
Mhm.
very
Okay.
muted. You know, they're all sitting in a circle. That's why it's called
Very
the ring
polite.
trading, right? Yeah, very polite.
Y
You're
una
not
vez
allowed to stand up if you're
tenga la
gonna
lista.
do an order, so you have to like just wave very
Yeah,
quietly.
guys,
And, you know,
if you're watching this, Google right now and take a look at the London Metals Exchange open outcry pit. You got to see it.
yeah,
It's a bunch of folks sitting quietly around in a circle wearing nicely tailored suits. It looks like
yeah,
something out of like a
red
James Bond
jackets.
villain film.
Yeah.
It's very different than the screaming guys from Beverly that dominated the pits in our day.
How have
It's
I never
very
seen this
English.
before?
Proper.
English. I don't know. I went in there
Aaron's
when
like,
I
I've never
worked for
seen
one of
Find
the
a picture
prop
to
firms.
share.
Yeah, you should find the picture because it's quite funny. You know, the difference between pit trading in the UK and pit trading in the US, like heaven and earth. We went in there not because you can't go actually in the pit because obviously you have to have like a license, you have to be a member. But there is a viewing gallery, and they took us in there when I was working for one of the prop firms. They're like, "Hey, let's go and see what it's like." So we went in there, and I was like, "Okay, so when are they going to start?" And the guy looked at me and was like, "No, they are trading now." And I'm like, "This is not
Not what I expected. This is not what I expected.
And I was like, "But they're very quiet. Like no one's shouting." And they're like, "Yeah, you're not allowed to shout. Otherwise, they will like kick you out." And I'm like, "Oh, so the American movies and you know, they're the way." It's like, no, it's very very different. So yeah, English to English
Interesting.
things.
Interesting.
yeah,
Speaking
these
of
LME
finding pictures, go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Jay. Yeah, so. No, I was just going to say, so speaking of the LME related levels, they have been working a little bit better than me anchoring the start of the profile to the London Open. So I basically anchor it to the start of the LME and I run all of my stats for the LME pit hours, which is from my 11:40 a.m. up to 5 p.m. So that is, it seems to be more accurate with the sentiment and everything. London Open has been fairly quiet. There's a lot of trading of gold in Asia, but then we sort of run into this dead zone of 2 hours when nothing is happening. And this obviously puts it a little bit later when there's more volume. And that's exactly how I got this trade. This was a mean reversion gold trade. Open up below value, tried to go lower, had a minor GEX level. There's also something happening on the daily chart. We have a reversal that's already done on the daily chart. Let me just get rid of this. And you can see that we have a bullish engulfing that is pretty strong. We're getting a reaction from that. So definitely some space at least to 3,400 just from that very big time frame. And like Aaron, I don't really want to fight this unless it's like super late in the day and we see steam running out, you know, so maybe looking for some longs and a pullback or something like that. But right now we are actually about to finish the value rotation from the LME value. I also have a quantitative extreme from that calculation at 33.92, and then the actual average daily range for the full 24 hours, I have that level up at 3,400. So that's where also some stronger options levels are located. So that's it.
Jay, by the way, I do indeed. I have a photo now of the London Metals Exchange pit.
Nice.
This is what it looks like.
Wow.
Oh, does that remind
they'd
you
hate-
of the your
They would
time at
hate
all?
me there.
Some top seat trading going on there.
Yeah.
Bam!
Top
Wow,
seats
look at that.
trading,
Looks
not steps.
very
top seats.
peaceful.
Bottom seats.
Very
by the looks of it.
We need
Power
Andre in
bottom
there.
seats.
Nasdaq selling off 3 point sell off in the Nasdaq, big sell off. We did see a 72% long tilt in the Nasdaq up there, up near those 23,290s. Paring back just a little bit last trade in the Nasdaq, 23,250, still inside this 1 minute opening range. Hogue, a lot of volatility, but market's not going anywhere as of yet. We do have some numbers coming out. We got a PMI number coming out in about 4 minutes here. And we were talking about, sharing pictures of trading pits. Hashtag fast markets. Share pictures of your trading pit. We know we're all not trading in the same room, but you might have a pretty cool setup that you want us to see. We'll share those later in the day. Make sure you tag that hashtag fast markets on X or on Instagram, and we'll share those later in the day. Aaron, how's it going over there? Anything you're seeing? Any levels that you want to execute trades at? Staying patient for now. Do you normally trade during this time?
Since I've come back to Europe, yes. But when I was in Australia, this is like probably like 1 a.m. my time. But yeah, now that I'm back here, yeah, I like to watch, especially when, like Dee said, London has been fairly quiet-ish, so it's kind of been getting busier towards this session. So yeah, being back here definitely. What I'm kind of looking at here on gold though is you already have had you've had a pretty decent move here already. So I also like longs up into this 3,400 level. Personally, I just wouldn't be buying here. So if we can kind of get a little bit of a pullback, maybe an intraday scalp short, then this wouldn't be a bad level for me to look for some long. So potential pullback shorts is just, again, do I want to be not only fighting yesterday's candle, but kind of shorting against this this decent push up here. So whether I get a short scalp, we'll see. But if we can pull back, I personally still like I like the longs here. I like this range from here to here. It's like 100 tick range, which is very, very good for gold. So yeah, if we can pull back, I would ideally like to keep buying. I just can't buy this high.
Got you.
Same.
Yeah, that we've been talking about gold, right? On a higher time frame, it's really not going anywhere, right? It's balance to balance on that daily chart, but it is still one of the best trading markets that we have right now. Just presenting a ton of opportunity, like you said, Aaron. You see another 100 ticks available in a market that isn't really directional right now, which is good to see. We have crude making new lows on the day here. A new low in crude, 62.55. House account was long, got stopped out of that trade. I know Leo in the chat was short. Leo, nice trade there. 62.55 in crude oil. 71% long tilt still in gold here. Top step traders are looking for a potential breakout, but let's see what gold actually wants to present. PMI coming up in 50 seconds here. Again, that number does have the potential to move the markets. So if you want to have a position on, make sure you know where your risk is. If you don't want to have a position on, make sure you hit that flatten all button a couple times. Don't want any ghost orders getting triggered here. Forecast for this PMI number is 54.2. S&P Services PMI flash. Manufacturing PMI forecast is 49.7. We also do have existing home sales at 9 a.m. Central Time, 20 seconds to this number. Just a heads up here. Everyone's flat right now, right? No positions on?
Yeah.
All flat across the board. See what we get. 5 seconds. And
wow, look at that.
Go. Yeah, nice sell and go there.
Yeah, nice
looks like the first reaction. All right. Got these numbers. S&P Services PMI flash came in at 55.4. Forecast was 54.2. Previous was 55.7. S&P Manufacturing PMI flash came in at 53.3. Forecast was 49.7. Previous was 49.8. S&P Composite PMI flash came in at 55.4. Forecast was 53.5. Previous was 55.1. Jack, what are these numbers telling us?
I have my eyes glued to the charts. Let me pull that up real quick.
We are selling. Equities are selling hard on that number.
So, well, they came in basically in line. I'm going to have to look under the hood a little bit here.
Okay.
Not much of a miss.
Aaron, you got your pullback for gold.
Yeah, there we go. Markets did not like that number at all. We seeing some size here on the S&P bid. There is 535 bid at 63.80 here in the S&P. That just got filled. NASDAQ trading 23,190. We got that pullback in gold, trading 33.81 evens. Like you said, Jack, not much of a miss there, but the markets don't seem to like that number as far as right now goes. 62% short tilt in the S&P, 69% short in the NASDAQ, and continuing to sell. New lows here, 23,180 trades in the NASDAQ. Here we go, Hogue. Are we going to find these buyers? Sellers are in search of them. 23,185 trades in the NASDAQ, 63.78 in the S&P.
I don't know. I just still feel like you can't trust rallies in the equities right now.
Right, and we can't be touched. So I've zoomed out, Hogue, to my 4-hour chart on here, and you can see one interesting level right around just above 6,400 is here, where it's been support, been resistance, Lots and lots of volume is traded there in the last month. Now I'm waiting for 6370. Go ahead, Hook.
No, it's nice looking level there.
1 hour.
Seeing a bounce here in the equities. NASDAQ made a low there, 23,175, about 50 points off that level right now, 23,222 last trade. S&P's made a low of 63, 75.50, and we're 10 points off that as well in the S&Ps. So nice bounce here. Market seeing some volatility. Gold trading 33.81. Aaron D, have these numbers or the reaction to these numbers changed your analysis at all? Still looking for those same trades?
I don't think they've changed anything. Maybe just provided a bit of a pullback. I do like to wait until things settle down. Whilst things are jumping around like crazy, I find it difficult to limit risk. So I usually wait until like 15 minutes after the news, and then I see whether there's a sensible amount of risk in terms of structure that we have left. So I'm not rushing into anything. It's August. It can get very whippy because of the low liquidity that we have across the board. And me using, 150 ticks to play anything, it's not very good. So I want to have an opportunity where I can make a trade with a stop loss of about 35 to 50 ticks in a sensible way to the long side in gold, unless something changes. But for now, we're still above the LME initial balance. We still have some single prints that were left from the extension of that initial balance. So for me, nothing's changed. And natural gas, just chilling. Natural gas is like, PMI, what?
What's that about?
Like nothing. Well, it doesn't really react. This is why I used to love trading some commodities like energies markets. They only care about inventories, really. They don't really care much about anything else. Maybe FOMC, but even FOMC reactions tend to be very, very muted. So yeah, still creating the initial balance. This is only the B period. Once they finish that, they may decide if they're going to move it. For now, natural gas to me looks a bit quiet. The initial balance size is only 44 ticks. So not sure that I'm going to be doing natural gas today.
Equities kind of shook off that sell-off, right back up to the highs of the 1 minute opening range. We found some buyers down there for sure. Go ahead, Jack.
Well, they reclaimed last week's low. We'll go into it more later. I didn't see too much in those numbers. I was kind of surprised to see that sell-off on those numbers. I thought there was definitely more concerning data in the 730 numbers. Jobless claims came in slightly hot. Continuing claims are at a new cycle high, and the Philly Fed was not good, and the prices paid component keeps on raging to the upside. Whenever you see those two stories combined, when you see the bad prices paid with like a not so great employment number, that's right. And if you have the quadrant there, that's the one that you really don't want. But the claims have been pretty narrow. There's not too much of a change. Obviously, nothing to panic about. But if you go, we're on my screen right here. Let me share this tab. Fed Watch. We're shifting a little bit. We're down to almost 21% of no change. And if you look down here, you can see that that has gone up 3 or 4% since yesterday. 11% since last week. It's definitely climbing a little bit, and you can see the bonds right now are selling off. Yields are going up. We're up to 4.325. Once again, not a panic range or anything like that, but it's not the direction we want to see things going.
Thank you for that, Jack. Yeah, Jack, 2 weeks ago, we were looking at, almost 100% probability of it was almost a sure thing that we were going to get a rate cut. But then we have some data comes out, and that changes a little bit. Jack, we have Jackson Hole starting today. Anything you're expecting to hear out of that? Anything you're expecting to hear out of Powell?
I'm expecting him, and this isn't me off the top of my head. This just seems to be the consensus, and you can see it kind of in those numbers shifting too, is that he's going to be rather non-committal, given what's been going on with him and Trump and the, Powell, the general contractor, the Lisa Cook stuff, Kugler resigning. There's going to be a lot of talk about just sticking to the dual mandate and independence of the Fed would be my guess, and keeping the door open to do either no rate cut or a rate cut. Because of that uncertainty, I think the exact words he said are really going to move the market. So that's going to be an exciting morning tomorrow.
Exciting for sure. Aaron, how's it going over there? Any trades so far? Anything you're seeing?
We got this we got the 4-hour close coming up in 7 minutes, and it's not looking the nicest in the 4 hour. You kind of wick and highs, wick and lows, kind of closing right back in the middle. Although, we're not swing trading. Sometimes, to me, higher time frame closes on gold are the most important thing to be able to day trade well. So kind of seeing this, it looks a little bit tough. But I mean, if we break out here, could we grind a little bit lower? Maybe. Is it a short I want to take? I'm not too sure. I kind of get skeptical with where gold is right now because, it's kind of in this area that we were at last week where we were pretty much stuck in here for like the majority of the week. So I can see it squeezing lower. Do I think it's a high probability trade that I want to take? I don't think so just yet. But, a couple of candles can change anything. So I think we just need to let price come to us a little bit here.
Still a lot of time left in the day as well. We're only 23 minutes in. Go ahead, Hogue.
Well, I was just going to ask Aaron, you mentioned the rally yesterday and the fact that it closed, relatively close to the highs. We had a delta divergence. But I find it a little bit in question because the volume wasn't nothing to write home about. And the open interest was inert. It was an estimated additional 300 contracts on a day like that. Now, we called that day early. We got long the opening range of the 720 to 725 opening range. And I said, I think this is going to be it's going to be an all day sucker. I think we're going to, close near the highs. And it turned out to be right, but I wasn't all that impressed with how it did it. Does that say anything to you? Do you look at open interest and that kind of stuff? Because I was, kind of looking at the settlement price today as a kind of an important level, and we looked above it, and we weren't able to hold above it. We left a selling tail above the initial balance high. So some of the nuances that I was looking at seem to be coming true. And now you're talking about maybe seeing it wiggle to the downside for a little while. Is open interest something that you look at? And how do you gauge the auction process in a longer time frame? I know you're looking at a 4-hour chart, of course. That's one of them.
Yeah, it's not. But since you guys have been mentioning it, it's definitely something I try and keep an eye on more. Especially like yesterday, I was trying to get long. I was trying to get long here yesterday. I was tuning into you guys, and you guys got it pretty good. I was trying to buy up into these highs here. But yeah, for me, maybe I was waiting for a little bit too much. I kind of wanted to see a bit of a pullback yesterday to try and get it, but you pretty much just opened and pushed. So it's not something I would say I predominantly just trade pretty much price action.
Price action, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Biggest thing that I was kind of looking at yesterday is, I kind of look at these highs and lows that gold loves to come and tag before having the next move. So I was kind of seeing these highs here. Anyone shorting early, maybe stop sitting above. So I was trying to buy up into these levels, but it's definitely something I would like to add to the toolkit more, definitely. But at the minute, it's pretty much just price action.
I mean, you're pretty damn good at price action. I'd be careful adding anything to what you're doing.
I'll take that.
I was just about to say that you don't have to add anything.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, it's
we do have more
sometimes
data coming out.
Sorry, go on, Jay. You good?
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. No, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was just saying higher time frame. Sometimes on gold, it's so easy to get so zoomed into like the 5 minute, but when you zoom out and you look at gold in the higher time frame, just simple price action levels just to me makes the most sense. And if I can understand, what my daily and 4 hourly doing when I drop down to my low time frame, my life's a lot easier. That's kind of how I try to how I try to approach it. Let my higher time frame paint the picture. Lower time frames just
Uh-huh.
for execution.
Right. Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Very nice.
We do got more data coming out here in just a few minutes. We got existing home sales, U.S. existing home sales at 9 a.m. Central Time at the top of the hour. Forecast is 3.92 million. Connor was saying we saw 1,000 lot on the bid in the S&P. I didn't see that, Connor, but up at 63.90s. Nasdaq currently trading 23.205. S&P is trading 63.86. We're still pretty much in that 1 minute opening range, Hogue. Really haven't gone anywhere yet, but we still got some data to come out. 68% short tilt in the Nasdaq, 62% short in the S&P. We did see that gold heavy tilt right before that number came out. It was pretty close to 80%, pared back a little. So did price. Gold 53% long now. We see a 66% long tilt in crude oil. Crude oil trading 62.65. And everyone flat right now, being patient. Go ahead, Hogue.
So Jay, we've looked at we had those big opening ranges in the equities, right? We looked on both sides of them, and this is the reason when we open the regular trading hours inside the value area from the previous day, where I look for better trade locations as the day goes on. We've looked both sides of the opening range. Any trades that were taken there would have probably been stopped out. And when we're looking at, here's the opening price from today. It's right at the point of control from yesterday, and it's right in the middle of value. We've looked below value. We've seen a little bit of rejection. Are we going to rotate and go back up and check the high of value? This is why I like to stay patient, let the market establish the initial balance, and then look for opportunities on those extremes, either for a continuation or a failure at those extremes, to just work the extremes, because there's very little change in the perception of value right now. Yes, in longer time frames that might look a little bit different, but as a day trader looking at the market generated information, opening it right in the middle of the value area from the previous day, I'll bet you we're gonna find better trade locations as the day goes on. And today was a really good example of it. I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you for that, Hogue. I want to bring that back to you in a second, because we don't always see directional days in the markets. Could this just be a range traders day, right? We had two pretty nice sell-off days. Could this be a day where we see range traders, have better success in the equities? So we got 15 seconds for this existing home sales number coming out. Remember, if you want to have a position on, know where your risk is. If not, hit that flat and all button. Existing home sales forecast 3.92 million.
And we're out.
And we got the number, came in at 4.01 million. So a little bit better than expected. 4.01, not really seeing much of a reaction yet in the markets. S&P is still selling just a little bit here, 63.8150. And NASDAQ making new lows here. Here we go, 23.160 last trade in the NASDAQ. Seeing some selling coming in here now. Maybe the market was just waiting for that number to come out.
Yep. NASDAQ to value low from yesterday.
Here we go. What price was that, Hogue?
I got TPO value low in the NASDAQ from yesterday, 23.152.
23.152. Seeing some selling and a bounce again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
50-point bounce right off that low. Go ahead, D.
I have one micro gold just to test the waters here, because we went down to the value low of the LME value.
Okay.
And now they seem to be pushing it in the opposite direction to the equities. So we'll see if we can grab a few ticks here. But it's only a micro, because it's right around the news. So let's see what happens here.
I like that.
What price did you get there, D?
I got 3384.8.
D long, one micro gold, 33.4880. Looking for a little bit of a push here to the upside.
Yeah.
33.8480. Right? 33.8480 long one micro. Looking for a little bit of a push. Gold trading 33.8540 currently. And the equities, another bounce off of that number. So quick knee-jerk reaction to the downside on the numbers, but sellers not able to gain any traction. S&P trading back at overnight VWAP, 63.92 last trade in the S&P, 23.230 in the NASDAQ. Jack, I'm going to throw it over to you for a little bit of news. What do we got on the news, Jack?
Yeah, let's hit it. All right. I will never, ever, ever get tired of that. On the news today, we already talked about it. These are the yellow line is the jobless claims each week. The blue bars are the continuing claims. As they mentioned, tight range on those, but the claims, the continuing ones, have edged up to the highest level since November of 2021. Something like 1.972 million. This is what I was talking about. One half of the story with the 730 numbers. The second half, if we take a look at the range on those, but the claims, the continuing ones, have edged up to the highest level since November of 2021. Something like 1.972 million. This is what I was talking about. One half of the story with the 730 numbers. Next, what's making the traders kind of pare back their bets on the Fed cut for September? So really, every week this stuff comes out, jobless claims, pay close attention to it. Next, not about the markets. What are they doing over at Meta? Guys, do you guys use chatbots at all for companionship?
No.
No?
I'm gonna say no. Companionship, no. Yeah.
Do you feel like you need a little discipline, perhaps from some rich but strict parents?
I'm out.
Yeah, 1 million messages. People have interacted with this AI chatbot on Meta for rich AI rich but strict parents.
What's happening?
I don't know. Like, just because you don't now doesn't mean, Aaron, don't be all high and mighty. You might need this at some point.
It's true.
You need
That's
that
true.
discipline. And
Please
lastly,
go
kind
outside
of
and
the
talk
big-
to people.
Please do. Find your own strict rich parents. I think they're around. Here's kind of the big news in the futures industry that came out last night. We'll talk about this a little bit more as we go on. CME Group announced yesterday in a press release, we don't have too much information going on this, that they are teaming up with FanDuel, the gambling company, to develop easy to access, I'll give them their word, event contracts platform allowing millions of U.S. customers to express views on blah, 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 blah. Okay. We can take that down. I'll get the ball rolling a little bit on this. Basically, what it seems, I've only been able to read the press release so far, is that the CME, along with FanDuel, is going to be having event contracts. My understanding is that they are based on the various futures prices they have. So oil, gold, the indices. Be careful, kiddos. I can see it. But the idea is just like on Holly Market or Kalsh or anything else, these are essentially binary options. You have contracts that range from $0 to $1. You can buy as many as you want. So theoretically, you could make a $1 wager here, and they expire at either 0 or 1. Essentially, Hogue, a binary option, if I'm reading this correct.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds. Do we need that? Do we need that, Jack?
I'm torn. I on one hand, I'm like, okay, I think that people that are of age and adults can do whatever they want.
Right.
There's something I need some convincing on about an exchange partnering with a sports gambling company. I don't know, but we don't get to shape the future, so they will be here. So I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more like that. A lot more about that coming out.
Thank you for that news, Jack. We got D in a gold long. D, I heard you say you get stopped out of that, but you got right back into it. Gold trading 33.86.
I didn't get stopped out. I didn't get stopped out.
Okay.
I exited early because I didn't like how much it was drawing into my position. But then I re-entered at a slightly better price at 33.82.3, and I'll probably just make back what I gave back just a minute ago. So I want to give it a little bit more time just to see whether we can push higher, but it's still a little bit jumpy. for Granny D over here. So we'll see.
How many are you long now, D?
Just one.
One
Just
micro?
one. That's
Okay.
yeah. It's August, so yeah. The August is not great for liquidity. So this is why so many wicks are happening. Not just the news, but the low liquidity kind of amplifies the whole thing. So if I can gather up some peanuts here, that would be good enough for me.
Good stuff. Aaron, how about you? Any trades over there?
Scroll.
Anything you're seeing? Still sitting flat
No,
for now.
I'm still flat for now. I like these longs as well. I just kind of want to see if this 15 can actually get back above. Otherwise, I'm wondering if you're maybe going to tag previous hourly lows. So nothing for me just yet, but I'm hoping this 15-minute shapes up a little bit more.
Okay.
I kind of look at this hourly and I go, tagged highs. Could you pull back a little bit? Maybe, but I think if we can, I'd love to see this 15-minute just kind of get back above this 85 level, and then I'd be interested in some longs.
Got you.
Shaping up.
All right, staying patient here. We got the equities pushing up just a little bit. S&P back above that 6,400 level, Jack. 6,402 half last trade in the S&P. The Nasdaq kind of fighting at this 23,300 level, 23,277. We got both of these markets back above their overnight VWAP and continuing to push higher. We did see a heavy tilt, 79% long tilt in crude oil, 61% long in the Nasdaq, 70% in the S&P. And 65% long in gold. All long tilts, traders looking for some more upside in all four of our major markets. Let's see what the markets present. Gold trading 33.85.30. We got D long, 1 micro right now. I think we're done as far as planned numbers go. We do have a natural gas number coming out in about half an hour. Outside of that, maybe some Fed speakers, president signing some executive orders. So we might be in the clear as far as planned news goes. But we know in the environment that we're in, unplanned news has been the real market mover. So we'll see if any headlines come out, and we'll keep you up to date on those. I got an offer in NASDAQ up here, 23,300, offered 135 times. See if we go fill those up there. Not really seeing any size on the S&P books right now. D, you got a target to the upside in this gold trade?
Just wherever it came from. So 33.91, let's say.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I'm not sure I'm going to be able to stay in. Yeah, because it's very jumpy still, and I am watching it on Bookmap, and they're kind of haphazardly pushing it back up. So it's not exactly going that smoothly.
I know.
So maybe if we tag 33.88, I'll be out. Let's do that.
Coach Hoop saying we see beans and corn popping there for all of our ag traders. Pop in the beans and corn. We always know Coach Hoop is looking at a bunch of different markets over there. Chat, let us know. Are you guys in any trades right now? I see Richard Harris calling a short at 6407 in the S&P. Chat, are you guys flat in any trades? How's it looking over there to start the morning? We're 40 minutes into the trading day so far. Still a lot of opportunity left here. You heard Hogue say it. We got, maybe let the initial balance set in the equities and find some opportunity from there. Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, I still like in the ES. I still like it sticking in this area generally between the 6,400 and the 6,350 SPX. So you can see right now, where's the high of the day? The high of the day is 6,419. So 6,420 to 6,470, 6,370 is kind of where I'd be looking at to drift between. We have Powell tomorrow morning. Those have been kind of big resistance. It's where it's found its bottom on the sell-off yesterday. I like it to be around there. So that's what I would be looking at.
I'm out. So I'm back to the same $119 that I was earlier.
Nice trade, D. Nice trade.
Fun
Taking
to
a
have
little
on the
scalp
journey.
there.
I don't know how I managed to end up exactly on 119. That's never happened before.
Wow. 119 even.
Yeah.
No change.
Yeah. It's like, is
No
that my
change.
number
Look at
today?
that.
Thanks, universe. Yeah.
Right. It's like Dakota with his number.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think he does it on purpose. He has like a lockout set right at that number. But
all right, okay.
We'll see.
Well, Right, I'm gonna chill now.
33.88. Gonna chill now, D?
Yeah. Should have kept it, but I don't know. The price action is still very, very jumpy from that release, and I was just like, and I kept watching it on Bookmap, and every time they pushed it, there was these like big sellers stepping in, and Delta is growing to the negative, which could be a Delta divergence and everything kind of pushing higher, but it just didn't feel like it was that smooth. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna just bail and take whatever is there. It didn't feel comfortable because for me, whenever I'm doing these value low bounces, I call them the double dips into the value acceptance, they're usually smoother than that, but we obviously have had a release, so it caused a little bit more jumpy. So D
NASDAQ
needs
testing
the
these.
grasshopper hat.
We got the NASDAQ testing these 23,300 here, 125 offered there. Looks like those were filled. S&P is continuing to push higher, 6406 in the S&P. So equities trying to rally here. We saw a couple of knee-jerk reactions to some of the data that we had come out. Some quick selling, but immediately bought up there. We had heavy days yesterday, heavy day yesterday and the day prior in the equities. Are we seeing a little bit of relief from buyers here? NASDAQ trading right under that 23,300. Got a question for you guys and a tip of the week. Tip of the week this week is the market is always right. Understand that we are in the market's environment, not the opposite. When we say the market has to do this, it does not. Read what the market is telling you and trade what you see, not what you think. Aaron, I'm going to throw this one to you. Is the market always right?
Absolutely. We actually had this discussion on our London stream this morning. I think it got a little bit heated on our London stream this morning. I jumped on and I was like, gold's at a big 4-hour level of support. People are like, gold's going down today. I'm like, who cares what you think's going to happen? If you're at a big level of support and you're reacting off it, trade what's right in front of you. Don't think, just react. That's what I was trying to say.
Right. Yeah, 100%. We could have a lot of thoughts, right? But that doesn't mean the market agrees with them. The quicker we realize that, the quicker we can get in the flow with what the market is saying. We got some offers here in the S&P, 6407. We got 700, almost 800 lots offered there in the S&P, 6407 half. D, what about you? Is the market always right?
Yeah, absolutely. And our job, our job is to be objective. And our job is to just, like you said, read what's in front of us, not to attach a whole bunch of negative inner dialogue and childhood traumas and then try to carry that into high on hopium trading on the day. That never works, right? So the more objective you can stay and the more robust methods that you can develop to just stay away from your biases and read what the market is actually telling you, the better the trader you'll be. So, there's no other way. I would like this to go to high heavens. Doesn't mean it will. And right now, it's looking like one mofo of a range, if we're gonna be honest in gold.
Yeah. Pretty tight range here. We got some heavy tilts. 74% long in the S&P, 68% long in the NASDAQ, 78% long in crude oil, 66% long in gold. So all long tilt. We are seeing all of these markets somewhat pushed to the upside. The S&P has about 1,000 contracts it needs to get through at 6407 up to 6407 half. Let's see what looks like that 6407 half just got pulled up to 6412s now. So they're going to start playing around with these orders, maybe acting as a magnet, pulling the market a little bit higher here. Jack, what about you? Is the market always right?
Market is always right. But if you think, what I mean is like, if you think it's going to be wrong, it's your interpretation of how right it is, I guess, that makes you money, right? I mean, if you take a trade, you don't know if the market's going to be right 5 minutes from now, right? But like the price is the price, so.
The market just is. It is
also,
where it
quick
is.
note from the desk of the house account. Guys, the purpose of the house account here is to back our funded traders and guests who are on here. We got the gold crew in the house. So here's how it's going to go. I'm trying to get some limits right now in gold to join you. If not, I'll shout out the trades, the JD to take them. As far as the equity indices, which I know a lot of you guys trade, we will call out what we see. But don't take it as a lack of vote of confidence if we're not taking a trade in the house account.
We got some. That offer keeps moving up there in the S&P. Now it's up at 64.1975. Some might call that spoofing. Some might call that a change of opinion about where they want those offers to get filled. There's a question in the chat. Can I explain the difference between a bid and an offer? So a bid is going to show up below the market, right? These are passive buy orders. An offer is going to show up above the market. Those are passive sell orders. So when we say 64.19 offered 700 times, that means somebody is looking to sell 700 contracts at that price. We don't know what their intentions are. We just know that they're there, sitting up there. We see seeing some offers just got filled in the S&P. Jack, look at that 1 second chart. 1,600 contracts just traded in the second in the S&P.
That's
continue to push here.
second.
64.10. 64.10 last trade in the S&P. 73% long tilt, and they are getting paid. Average price 6,400 here. 10 points in the money. It looks like the market is hunting that 700 lot, hunting that liquidity up there.
Indeed.
67%
Remember,
long in the NASDAQ.
Bids and offers. You hit the bid, you lift the offer. There.
Hogue, speaking of hitting the bid, lift. You're official now. Stamp it.
Yeah.
Hogue, speaking of lifting the bid, hitting the offer, what is Delta looking like right now?
S&P Delta positive 2,300, NASDAQ positive 900, negative Delta in gold minus 850, and crude positive 1,600 right at the highs here. So a little bit congruent for crude oil, but we do have a little bit of a divergence here in gold.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hogue.
That's what was
Not a whole
scaring
lot
me
to write
earlier,
home
'cause
about
I'm
in
like,
the S&P.
yeah, I was like, are they this negative delta gonna take over now? And it just, for a time, it looked like it would, and then we just went up. So it's like, okay, delta divergent.
As the 10-year rising, 4.33 right now. In the couple minutes we've been on, really, now the Fed watch, we are above a quarter chance, 26.7% chance of no rate cut for September meeting. These are changing in real time, folks. Sentiment is changing.
What do you think is changing that, Jack? Just some of the data that we see coming out right now?
Yep.
Right. We just got some housing data.
If the data keeps coming out, it keeps on showing prices paid, inflation, CPI, PPI, any of those things. While the job market is not crashing, that's going to add to the fire of no rate cuts.
Thank you for that, Jack. We are seeing the 10-year sell-off price-wise. 64.06 last trade here in the S&P. Again, there was 1,600 contracts traded in a second, right in this zone here. 64.06 half up to 64.09. So about a 2-point range where 1,600 contracts traded. That's a lot for the S&P. We do still see that long tilt, 74%, 73% now in the NASDAQ, 75% long in crude oil. Crude oil getting ready to test this overnight VWAP right at this $63 level, and gold just 59% here. Aaron, you coming into the fast markets with a little bit of a positive P&L, positive $300 right now. You ever get tempted to look at another market if gold isn't presenting opportunity to you, or you just dance with the one you brought, like Hogue says, and
he's not a
wait
cheat.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes because on the London sessions, everyone's always trying to egg me on to start trading NQ. And I look at it, but yeah, so I kind of I look at other markets, but I still just personally just execute on gold. I just feel like anytime I cheat on gold, it always reminds me why I shouldn't, and I always just end up going back to gold. I just feel like the price action is easier to read, and I just find it depends on your style. I'm someone who kind of like I'm not really like a very fast scalper. I like to kind of let my trades breathe, like let the price develop. So for me, gold just kind of suits that the best. So now people try and turn me to the dark side to NQ, but I can't leave gold.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna leave, don't go to the NASDAQ, right? It's like sounds like the one you should cheat with, but the S&P is probably the one you'd want to go to. Still some heavy long tilts here, and the market's continuing to
Nasdaq.
push up. Go ahead, D.
And I was going to say Nasdaq is kind of like the stripper, right? You go in, you think you're in love, and she just rinses you out.
Yeah, and then you get
you do love me.
into a plot to kill someone for insurance money. You all know the story in every episode of Forensic Files.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to cheat on gold. It has a prenup.
Oh.
Speaking of other markets, though, we got the Dow pushing higher here. Go ahead, Aaron.
No,
look for long here in
potentially.
gold.
Yeah, potentially. I'm seeing if this 15. I'm probably just going to go micros here. But if this 5-minute closes like this, I may try and buy this 15-minute breakout here. I like this tip. The only thing is, my only concern with where gold is right now. I do like that this 15 did get back above, but then I kind of look at my 30 and go, you're almost buying right back into resistance. But I do like this potential 5-minute morning star play here. You're coming down, grabbing the lows. The 15 had a decent breakout as well, so I want to see if this 15 here can continue pushing up. So potentially, I want to see this 5-minute close, and I'll see if I can maybe get some longs into these hourly highs. The range is not the biggest, so kind of want to make sure I can get a good risk to reward. But yeah, I like this. I'd have to manage aggressively with these. The only thing is, when gold's in these tough ranges, I kind of look at this hourly and go, you do have resistance right here. So if I do take it, depending on the 5-minute closure, I will be trading micros and managing aggressively, I think. But if this 5-minute close is bearish, I'm not interested. But if it wicks back above, I'm interested. But I want to see this candle close.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Aaron. Aaron, there was a question for you in the chat earlier. Do you look at the dollar index while you're trading gold at all?
No, not really, to be honest. I used to look at it when I was swing trading more, but for day trading, no, I don't.
Okay.
People always ask me quite a lot. It doesn't. It's basically just the euro doesn't really tell me anything that gold doesn't already tell me. Like I can see what the US dollar is doing depending on what gold's doing, what's right in front of me. But maybe for swing trading, it might help you more. But for day trading, I feel like gold is just its own different market that just loves to move how it moves. Yeah, I just find it easier just to stick to pure gold. Some people even ask, do you correlate it with NQ? And I'm like, the correlation isn't that good enough that it's really going to help me if any trading decisions, personally.
Right. Yeah, I think we've seen that correlation matrix. Hogue, if you have that link, if you could post that in the chat, that MRCI correlation matrix. I think it's the common consensus that they're inversely related, right? Gold prices and equity prices, but that is just not the case from the data that we've seen.
Yep.
So trade the market that you're trading.
Absolutely.
Might try a
S&Ps.
very small micro copper here.
Okay.
Copper tends to be quite directional, and most of the metals seem to be going in the same direction today, and copper just broke out of sort of that range it's been in for a few days, and completed the LME value acceptance and went even higher. So we'll see what happens into the euro close. On a lot of the days, copper is not really the one to always reverse for the euro close. If it reverses, it's more likely to reverse during COMEX initial balance. And then they kind of make a decision on the direction, and on a lot of the days, that will be it. That will be the direction for the day. But having said that, it's a slower trade, so we might be here for a while. And it will allow me the chance to breathe, maybe get a little vape action going behind the scenes. And I'm about to crack open a monster. So with that...
There we go.
There we go.
There, you hear the Craig. What I know Baron's been drinking white monsters. Is that a white monster, dude? There we go.
Love them.
What is it? What is the flavor of that, or is it just white monster?
Yeah, it is white monster. It's just white monster. It's kind of like a version of a lemonade, I suppose, would be the closest description.
So it's kind of like a Baja Blast. Like you don't know. I don't know what a Baja Blast is supposed to taste like.
I don't know what that is either.
I see Aaron locked in here. Aaron,
Londoners.
Your American is showing, Jack.
Yeah.
Baja Blast is like
Cracker Barrel.
So what is it?
It's a specialty. It's the Baja Blast is a proprietary flavor at Taco Bell of something. I haven't had one in 15 years. I can't do that anymore. But I think it tastes kind of like Blue Mountain Dew. Tell me what it tastes like in the chat.
Okay.
Chat saying Mountain Dew.
What does Mountain Dew taste
Chat
like?
is saying
I guess citrusy.
Yeah, yeah, citrusy. I find Monster a little bit less sweet than Mountain Dew. Last time I had it, I think it's very sweet, Mountain Dew, but Monster is like just about manageable. And this is the ultra version, whatever they call it. The bad sweeteners.
Seeing the equities continue to push higher here. NASDAQ making a new high for the New York session, 23,328 last trade in the NASDAQ. S&P's 6410. There was that offer that we were tracking, 700 contracts. It started off at 6407. It's all the way up at 6439 now. So they pulled that up. We're seeing the market, maybe that giving the market a little bit of run room to work, right? There were, if we were going to trade through that order, somebody needed to buy 700 contracts, but they moved it up. So maybe a little bit of space for the markets to continue here. Hogue, we've left the initial. Sorry. Yeah, they do want us to, right, Hogue?
Yep.
We got the initial balance getting ready to close here in the equities, Hogue, in about a minute and a half. What's your read on the markets? We left that 1 minute opening range to the downside. We checked both sides of it. How are you seeing the markets right now?
Okay, so this is the S&Ps, the range from yesterday, right? We got 64, 30, 75. We got the low end 63, 63. Value low, we're looking at on this platform 63, 81. We traded down to it. Next target would be value area high 64, 17. Market is doing what we thought it would do, and it's it's kind of ranging inside of the value area from yesterday. And it typically, before an important number the next day after some pretty good moves to the downside, you're probably going to see a little bit of a hangover day or a little bit of a day of rest. And I think that's really what's setting up here. Same thing in the NASDAQ. We got yesterday's range, 23,432. We've got yesterday's low of the range, 23,035. We opened in the middle of value. We've traded to value area low. Now we've traded to value area high. Now with the initial balance finished, we'll see if we see some sort of failed upside auction or selling tail above the initial balance that could rotate us back near the lows, or if we see some sort of continuation above the initial balance. I'm not looking for that. I'm thinking we're probably going to fade back to the center for the better part of the day today, and it's already kind of coming off the highs right now.
A bit here.
We
see. Did we see an offer up here?
See a little
NASDAQ
on the high, but not much.
Seeing an offer up here.
That's
in the
my story.
NASDAQ, right at. Thank you, Hogue. 23,350s. We got 85 offered in the NASDAQ here. That initial balance, which is the first hour of trade in the market that you're trading, is now closed. So we can use these as areas of reference. Initial balance high in the NASDAQ 23,348.25, and in the S&P we got it at 64.12.25. Seeing a little bit of a pullback here. Still very long tilt. 74% in the S&P, 76% in the NASDAQ, 71% in crude oil. So top step traders are seeing longs and so far getting paid for them. At what point do they take profits? Right now, they're just holding on to those positions. Jack, did we hit any of the levels you were looking at on the upside here?
No, it's been a pretty firm line in the sand. I'm back to the 15 minutes. I guess it'd be 64.18 now would be the 5,400 SPX. And you can see how last night they made 2 runs at it, bounced right off it both times. And then again, this is like the most, because we're closer to it than the others, I'd say this is like the most interesting level for me in the ES right now, 64.18.
64.18. We got the overnight high, 64.19, so right a point under that. We set that initial balance, and the NASDAQ sold off about 40 points here. I saw John Ross in the chat say you were short 5 mini ES. Richard Harris in the chat was also looking for a short here, 64.07s in the S&P. Seeing the markets pull back just a little bit. I got a New York session VWAP in the NASDAQ at 23,258. Aaron, we're seeing gold pop a little bit. Did you get into that long?
I did not. I was like 2 minutes away from this 30-minute close. I was like, well, I may as well just see if this 30-minute closes and confirms it.
Okay.
And I was just hoping we could get just a little quick wick down here so I could kind of get in this, but unfortunately I haven't. When I kind of see that, you're 2 minutes away from the 30-minute candle close, where I'm like, well, I may as well wait for it to close because the likelihood it's going to wick down first anyway. But you kind of just opened and just squeezed a straight high here. So unfortunately, I am not just yet. But if this 30 can wick down without tagging these highs, I would still like to get in this. I'm not going to chase it from here, though.
Nice. So if we get a little bit of a pullback, what are you looking at price-wise for a pullback maybe to get in before we tag that high?
Well, I was kind of just looking at this. This is kind of like a fake out play that I love to see when gold loves to, break below a level, then, break straight back above. So, I mean, again, I don't really think about where you can pull back to, but if you pull back to this lows and, start reacting from this, then I'll see if I can get long. Kind of like, something like this, like a nice morning star from down here. I'll see if we can take it from here. Because I was looking at this, but I was like, if I risk off this low, you can draw your targets up here, but realistically, my target's that previous hourly high, so it's only a one-to-one.
Has to be that high.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, sometimes people just draw like an imaginary risk reward, but to me, the most logical place is that hourly high. So, from
makes a ton of
here
sense.
to here, it doesn't make sense. So if we can get a bit of a pullback, maybe back down to 88, I would like to take it. If we just squeeze the highs from here, then not my trade. Is what it is.
There we go. Don't set imaginary targets. Whereas the market's shown it has the potential to trade, and then we go from there.
Logical and probable. You need that for targets.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think that's important to do. Really important to do.
Mixed bag in the Mag 7.
They're gonna warm up.
What do we got, Jack?
Meta's down.
Who's up? Who's down?
Meta's down. No one's down or up a bunch. Meta's the biggest loser, down 1.14%. Amazon down nearly 1%. Google up 1%. Everything else is very close to where it settled yesterday. Closed, I guess you could say, for stocks.
Thank you for that, Jack. That tilt finally paired back in the equities, 56% long, right? We saw it as high as 75. S&Ps we saw as high as 78% long. Now at 63%. D, I know you took a copper trade. Is that right? Did you get into that copper trade, or were you scouting that copper trade?
Yeah. I'm in. I'm 43.30. It was the entry. Sorry, 44.30. So what's going on with my brain today? Yeah, just looking for a continuation, maybe as we get closer to the euro close. There is a call resistance level at about like 4400s, but knowing the copper's penchant to just keep going higher, I'm deciding that this move has enough squeeze to basically keep crawling upside. It's not going to be like NASDAQ or equities or gold. If this move is on the way, we might be here for like 2-3 hours and we might get somewhere closer to the target. My target, like always for these sorts of sustained auction trades, is near the ADR high from a 24-hour range, and that falls at 44800 today. Well, a little bit higher, but my target is 448. I don't know whether we're going to get there. It's August, it's quiet.
Right.
Copper's been a bit crawly. But yeah, that's the direction. I don't see any reason to fight this at this point.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for that, D. Keep us updated on that. We got D, long micro copper. Long micro copper.
Yeah.
Let's throw it to the someone was going to say something. What did I miss? Was that Aaron?
No, not me. You're all good.
Flip in the matrix.
Oh, all right. Let's throw it to the news real quick. And we'll be right back to the charts. What do we got for the news?
If you let day-to-day politics come in, That's a very noisy process.
President Donald Trump is increasing his pressure on the Federal Reserve as central bankers from around the world gather in the U.S. today. Their annual symposium in Wyoming is a major economic event impacting monetary policy and consumers. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is giving the keynote speech today. Analysts say he might signal a modest rate cut given labor market concerns. Trump wants him to be more aggressive.
This guy is a numbskull. He keeps the rates too high.
When you compromise the independence of the central bank, very bad things happen to the economy.
Trump says Powell should resign. Now he's saying the same thing about Fed Governor Lisa Cook. She's a Biden appointee who voted against rate cuts recently. A member of the Trump administration alleges she might have committed mortgage fraud by naming 2 primary residences.
There's a lot of questions here, and that's why I'm saying for the sake of the country, she should just resign. And I do think this is a very different situation than, the chair.
Cook says she won't step down and instead will provide information and facts about her financial history.
Anytime you see them going after someone who's reporting something they don't like, who's unwilling to do their bidding on interest rates, don't assume that that person is guilty of anything other than doing their job.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Putting pressure on the Fed. What do you think about that, Jack?
I think it's a little self-defeating. Oh, by the way, because I think it said today, Powell speaks tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. So set your alarm clock, set 2 alarm clocks, because that is going to be pretty cool to be here for. I don't know. I would prefer. I'm a believer in the independence of the Fed, and I think that I'm obviously not. But if I were an advisor, is that ultimately things like mortgages are based on the 10-year rate, and the 10-year rate is not based on what we're doing with like the Fed funds rate necessarily. I pointed out before. 10-year rallied actually after we had the half-point cut in September. I don't think it's going to move the needle that much. And I think that it's important that it'll never happen, but like if everyone understood that, we might look at it a little differently.
Thank you for that, Jack. We are seeing the equities sell off just a little bit here, tagging that New York session view up. So shout out to any traders who took that short up there. 23 to 62 last. Yep. New highs in gold. Aaron, we took out that high before we got your pullback. Nice call on it. But just not really the risk reward you could have looked for that on that trade. S&P's tagging that New York view up as well at 63.96. Last trade 63.97 half. Now we got negative tilt, right? So it got very heavy up there. We know that's the MP trade. It goes with the minority on the trade. Everyone's long. One side of the boat gets real heavy and then it tilts the other way. And that's kind of what we just saw here. A nice 20-point sell-off in the S&P, about 80 points in the NASDAQ up there, right back in the middle of this initial balance hold, pretty much right back to center on this here. Setting up to be that range day that we talked about.
Value low, to value high, to value low, to value high.
Jay, as a Fed drama fan, which they point out here, though, as traders, if there's no rate cut, that's going to be a fun trading environment. We'll put it that way.
What do you expect to happen there, Jack? Outside of volatility, do you expect a direction, or do you just expect volatility?
Well, I'm going to take this objectively here. The odds are still stacked for a rate cut, so unless that changes before the meeting, if there's no rate cut, that'll be a surprise. I imagine that President Trump will not be happy with that, so who knows what will result from that. But it'll mean lots of volatility.
And we love volatility. We welcome it. Bring on the volatility, right?
Oh, yes.
Traders complain when things get too quiet, and then you see it in April. We complain when things get too volatile, right? Can never make us happy, but that's what makes us traders. I love the D.
Yeah, me too. Same, I was like a kid in a candy store. It's like, hey, my targets are reached in about 3 seconds. Woo!
Aaron, what's your preference? You rather crazy volatility like we had early on, or slower markets, kind of like what we're seeing right now in gold? A lot of consolidation.
No, I like the higher volatility because trading London, it's not really as crazy as New York, you can still get, like back in April, gold was having like, a couple of 100 tick moves in London, which was amazing.
Yeah,